I want to make a block that holds a tool. And I want to make that block as space efficient as possible without losing any grip strength. So let's start building. Now, I'm not really a computer plans guy, so I ended up sketching out my design for this on the backer board itself. This is so that I could compress the footprint of the tool as much as I could. And then I used that sketch to lay out the pieces that would eventually make up one of the holders. And at this point I was using a rubber bouncy ball to provide the grip to the tool. And here's a spoiler, this was not actually the best idea, and I'm going to show you why soon. Once I was happy with the pieces, I cut the back out and then glued the pieces onto the back. And another reason to leave the ball in there is so I can actually show you the shortcomings once it's completed. And as is fairly typical with things I build for this workshop, I've put a few scraps of fancy wood on the front because, let's be honest, that's the bit you're going to see. And I really can't help myself. So this is Mark 1, and it's pretty good. I've actually attached them on my laser cut cleats to the side, so now you can have a holder that can go anywhere on a French cleat wall and hold tools up to a certain width. There are always loads of little gaps that just need a small holder to fill them. So these, for that, are great. But the ball. So here's the issue. Grip strength up and down is fine, but the tool pivots forwards and backwards because the ball is only really actually touching and pressing against a very small part of the saw. So this isn't going to work for me. So here's my replacement. And it is a pretty inexpensive solution per holder. You simply cut it to length with a saw or a knife, shave the corners off just a hair so it doesn't jam up. And then I gave mine a quick sand just to rough the surface for added grip. And what it leaves you with is a large surface area pressed against the tool, not only for up and down support, but also to stop the tool from pivoting. But you don't need to only limit yourself to French cleat. There are a couple of choices you can make to attach these anywhere. You could screw straight through the back into whatever you want to place one of these against. Or if you've got access, you could screw through from the back of whatever you're attaching it to into the backer board of the block itself. Do be careful if you're going to screw through the front though, because when you put a saw in, you don't want the teeth of your saw to be rubbing against the heads of the screws that you've just put in. So a better solution, albeit not as neat, is to actually leave the backer board with more space on it and countersink a couple of screw holes on either side. Now you've got a tool holder that is not only versatile but can go anywhere. Well, almost anywhere. Like mine for my speed squares on the side of my cabinet. But there's more.